We're going to do some more work on the Clark Clipper forklift. All right, so I got to get it out of its parking place, and I just realized I left the battery hooked up, and it's been about 3 weeks, maybe 4. So I guess we're going to see if this thing has any battery drain issues. Hopefully not. So we're going to try to get some brakes on it today. I don't know how far we'll get on it because it's going to be quite the project, but basically going to have to completely redo the brakes, wheel cylinders, brake shoes, brake lines, master cylinder. Pretty much complete new braking system. The other thing I want to do is try to get our fuel pump a little more permanent. So I guess we will know if the battery's got some charge in it by hooking our fuel pump up. Uh-oh. That's not a good sign. That tells me that battery is stone cold dead. We should hear our fuel pump clacking away. So, not good. All right. Choke. All right. See if this will do it. All right. We're leaking something. I don't know what we're leaking, but we're leaking. Let's get the front off the ground. We're going to block it up. The other thing we need to do, because of our jankiness here, is get our fuel pump hooked up. So we will do that. We've got quite the setup we're about to do for our fuel pump. I just want to do that real quick because I'm tired of messing with it. I'm still not sure what we're doing with the fuel pump, so I don't want to make this completely permanent yet. Ideally, we would probably just drill through this plate and thread it and just mount it. But I picked up these magnetic mounts, and we're just going to mount it with that for now. These are super strong, so I don't think that'll be a problem. And then as far as wiring, we're coming off, put a little splice. You can see at the bottom of the resistor. That's from the ignition switch. So we're going to run a wire over there for our hot wire and hook up, and we'll find a ground somewhere. We may just ground to this little bolt here. All right, I'll bring y'all back once we get this mounted. Well, it's not the best, but it's not the worst. We'll put something on this or maybe we'll rotate this hose clamp around. That would be good, and get it out of the way. And yeah, it's mounted. It is sturdy. I may have went a little big on the magnets. That thing is not going anywhere. So yeah, I forget how much these things are supposed to hold, but I could have went a step down. They're for sure not going anywhere. I think our outlet is okay. I mean, I'm not crazy about it, but it's all right. It's not hitting the linkage here. We've got a good inch of clearance, so I think that's fine. And this one's a little janky. We may put a longer hose on here or something. This is about the only way I could get it where the output wasn't hitting the air cleaner. And we also got to keep in mind we've got to run an air cleaner hose somewhere in here. So just trying to make this thing fit where I can, and I think this is our best option. So we can move it around later, or we can put a mechanical fuel pump on it. We've got options. It's not permanent, so it's not permanently mounted. We can move it, we can do whatever. We can put it here if we wanted to. We can, whatever. Yeah, we can do something with it if we need to later. It's there for now. All right, I'm gonna knock out the wiring real quick. I'll bring y'all back and we'll start on the brakes. All right, I'm happy with that. That will work for now. I mean, it took about 5 minutes to do this, so don't judge it too harshly. It's good enough for now. We'll call that good enough. And it's the only wiring on this thing that is in wire loom. So it's got that going for it. We have 0 brakes. Our master cylinder, I've not tried putting fluid in it, but I mean, I don't think it's going to recover. And there it is right there. I've got a replacement. It was like 30 bucks. So it's not expensive. It mounts directly to the plate with these Allen head fasteners. I don't know if they have nuts on the back side or if the master cylinder itself is threaded. I think it has nuts, but I'm not positive. I think I see some down in there. I'm not sure where we're going to start, but that brake line there is good. I don't know if we will use it or replace it, because we're going to have to find somewhere where this T can mount. It was just floating, and when I guess it probably vibrated, and then it broke the line going to the other side. So we have the fitting, and I pulled that other line out, but we're gonna need to mount this somewhere, maybe right off the differential or something. Wherever our lines will reach, and we will either need to make new lines, or if we can reuse these, we can. I don't know. I kind of think they're just copper line. This is a low pressure system. It looks like copper. I'm pretty sure they just ran copper line too. But we've got NICOP to run, so we may or may not run all new lines. It really just depends on how we're able to mount that. So I think before we get too involved with tearing things apart, actually, if we get the wheels out of the way, that might give us a little more room to get in there and work. So I'm gonna real quick just knock both wheels off, just to give us better access to everything. And I think we're gonna start by figuring out a spot for that thing to mount, because that kind of determines where our lines run, if we need to run new lines, all that stuff. So I think we should do that part first, and then we'll tear into the rest of the bricks. Does that sound like a plan? Well, I guess I should have set y'all up for my ingenious plan. I think there's a ridge on this drum, and it was not wanting to come off. So I'd already pulled this side off, which I had this side off a couple weeks ago. I pulled the wheel cylinder off of it so I could match it up. This is the side that was stuck more. And it looks like I bent my pry bar, but it's a cheap one. But I put it in there to lock this wheel, and I let it run. And while it was running, had the lug nuts loose. Put this against the outside of the wheel or the drum and beat it with a hammer while this wheel was spinning, and it pushed it off. Oh, come on. It's still kind of stuck, but it's off. Come on. Give me a minute, I'll pull it off. And there we go. And interestingly, I think our brake pads are different. Yeah. So this one, they're thinner, but they're also riveted. And this set of pads over here are a little bit thicker, and they're glued on. Go figure. Someone did a brake job on one side. So this T-fitting, I think we're gonna mount it to the back side of this bolt. There's quite a bit of length still there, so I can put a nut on it, and that'll get this T kind of up in there, kind of out of the way, and it's about the best spot I can put it. I think that's better than trying to put it on the rear end. We can run our line right here over into the bottom of it, and then just tee off and come down to this wheel cylinder and the one on the other side. So I think that'll work real well. I think our next step is probably start to tear these down. I think I'm going to knock out one side real quick, kind of get an idea of how it goes. Probably this side, since the wheel cylinder is already off of it. I'll bring y'all back and we'll do some time lapse on the other side. I'm taking a little break, no pun intended. But the access to these brakes kind of suck. There's a concentric bolt with a little, well, the bolt itself's not concentric. It's got a brass washer, that's a keyed brass washer that's concentric and goes through the bottom of the shoes. That's how you adjust the brakes. And getting to that, the back side of it, is just awful. And so I'm at the point, I've got it back together, but I'm adjusting the brakes, and it's just awful getting to it. So trying to do that so I can get the drum on. It's not fun, I will tell you that. But we'll go over that a little bit more in detail when we do this side. But yeah, I mean, there's just not a good way to get to it to adjust it. I can get to I'll show you the bolt when we get to the other side, but there's a bolt that sticks out with a little slotted head, or I guess slotted head, male end, not a female end. But it looks like a 3/8 fits on that from what I can tell. And then you got a 3/4 nut that you can hold it with. What I probably should have done was, while I had this off, ground another flat on this. It's got one flat, but if I could get to it from the front, you know, and just do some adjustment here from the front, slip the drum on, test fit, pull it back off, adjust it. I'd rather do that than deal with what I'm dealing with now. But it was really hard to get the little bolts in there with the concentric keyed in. I'm not tearing this back apart, but we may ground a slot in the other side so that we can get on this a little better. I'm actually getting on it with some pliers, some vice grips, and trying to turn it. That's kind of working. This side is a little easier to get to. I can actually get a socket on it. This side, the only thing I can get on it with is this guy. Is it this one? Is it this one? It's 3/4. This guy. That's the only thing I can get on that nut. So I can't get a socket on it with a ratchet. I can't get an open end on it, and I can't get a normal boxed in. This is it. This is the only tool I have that I can get on that bolt or nut. So I'm not sure how they really intended you to adjust the brakes, but maybe I'm just overthinking it for a forklift, and I should just back them off all the way and call it good. But I guess I've gone this far. I want to kind of get them adjusted correctly and back together before, yeah. So I'm going to continue working on it, and I will show you any tips or tricks on the other side. I just needed to take a break, and yeah, just needed a little break to sit here, talk through this, make myself feel better, I guess, because it's getting pretty frustrating trying to get this shoe adjusted. Well, man, have I been struggling with this side. So that bolt over there is tight. I have heated it. I have done everything. The problem is now I can't get on it good. Probably if I would have known and I would have heated it first, I think we would be good. The problem I'm having now is, like I said, not being able to get on it good. My best bite is probably with this guy, but it's not slipping up on there all the way because this is too shallow. And so I'm not getting a good bite. It's rounding, it's trying to round the end of the nut off because I'm only getting on it partially. So that's not working for us. And unfortunately, I only have one of these in a 3/4. And it was tight enough that, can you see that? We broke our wrench. See it cracked. And I guess maybe I could weld it up. I feel like it's just gonna break again. But yeah. So, and this is the only, I've got all kinds of these wrenches, different sizes. I only have one 3/4. So we kind of screwed ourselves there. So we're in this position of I can't get that nut off. And I think, again, if I had a good one of these and I heated it, we could probably get it off. But I just can't. I've tried every combination of wrenches. I even took this one and bent it. It's just a cheapie. You can see where it cracked the chrome because I bent it. I can't get it in there. I think if we were going to try to do this again and we had to get in there, I think I would unbolt this cap here, but we're lifted up there, so if we did that, the whole rear end's going to try to drop. It's going to well, the body will try to drop because that's where the body attaches to the axles. We'd have to reconnect this in a different way, but these pads look good, so I think we're just going to leave this shoe alone. It looks, this side I think has been done. I think it's the other side maybe was original. I don't know. Pads are thick, or the shoes are thick. We're just gonna leave it. We're gonna replace the wheel cylinder and slap this side back together. I hate doing that, but this thing, yeah, someone could probably argue, well, it's gonna pull to one side. Not in the low speed application of this forklift. It will be fine. So I'm not really worried about it. That's about the only shot. That's the only thing I can do now. And I will just keep an eye out. I will think about a better way to get on that. What I really need, I need something similar to this, but I'd like to have it in a 6-point. I've got an O ratchet, which is it's a hollow headed ratchet with hollow sockets. I tried to get that on there. There's not enough room for it. The other thing we could do is we could take this hub off and then take the whole backing plate off. Actually, that would probably be a better way to go than unbolting this. It probably would be easier to, just take this off, take the backing plate off, and get it off that way, which will probably be what we will do if we end up having to do a brake job here. But for the low speed application that this thing is, I think these brake shoes will be fine. They seem to be in good shape versus the other side, which was falling apart. I think these potentially could be original. They are just coming apart. So yeah, but this side seems fine. I think somebody put these on fairly recent. They look very thick. We're gonna run them. So unfortunately, that means I really can't show you how I did the other side, but I will try to put a picture of the little concentric brass washer thing that goes on here. And I said the head of this was a 3/8, it's a 5/16. And yeah, so basically you turn that 5/16 head on the bolt, and that rotates that concentric and adjusts the shoes. It makes them go like that. So you can adjust them, get them adjusted however you need to, and then you tighten that 3/4 nut while holding this. Or like me, if you're like me, I threw vice grips on here and held this end of it because I really couldn't get the 5/16 and a 3/4 on the back side to tighten it down and hold it steady. So what we're gonna do now is pop this wheel cylinder off. Y'all can watch me do that. Again, sorry you don't get to see me mess with these, but I feel like I kind of explained it. Maybe hopefully that's good enough. And you can see me put the spring back on, I guess, and of course put the wheel cylinder on. So let's do that, and then we will save these brake shoes in case we ever have to do anything with this side. But like I said, this thing will be fine with these. Shouldn't be an issue. All right, I noticed a problem, and that is on our T. They had this adapter in here, but that's not correct. You can see that's what it should look like. And then down in here, I think this is made for a like a banjo bolt. There's nothing to seal against, so I don't know, maybe it was sealing, but that's not correct. So went and got this little fitting. This is correct. We just need to come up with a way to mount it. I ground off the mounting bracket, but I don't think it's going to work, so I will have to come up with some kind of a way. Even if I just tie wrap it, we'll come up with something. I've got that little piece there. I think I'm gonna just tie wrap it to it. It just needs something to kind of steady it, and I think that will work. All right, there it is. Figured I'd show you before I get the brake lines connected, but just a simple little bracket, tie wrapped. It will work for its intended purpose. All right, that took longer than I had thought, but we've got it run, and we didn't try to make it super pretty or anything, just tried to make it clear everything. See, that one runs all the way back and is not hitting anything. And we've got plenty of clearance here in the front. Our tire does not stick out further than the backing plate. And then this one, went ahead and ran it out the front because we've got our steering linkage right there. So came around the steering linkage, then kicked it back to make sure that we don't hit this when we tilt that way, and came up and around and in with clearance all around. So NICOP, great. Hand bend the stuff. Would not have been fun doing this with steel lines with the bends. This is just nice. So let's put our wheels back on, and then we're gonna have to get in here and get this master cylinder out. So that looks fun. I do have our new line connected to the old master cylinder, just a couple threads tightened in so we can run our line. And I didn't forget one fitting, and I didn't mess up one flare. So that's what, six that went smoothly, so that's good. And in that brass fitting, I put all copper or brass fittings to make sure we didn't have any issues with the steel fittings in there. I had one and I bought two more, so reused that old one and two new ones, and then reused two old steel ones, and then put one new steel one that I had. So if they were in good shape, I just reused them. And yeah, we had a couple that just were not very good, that we did not want to reuse. All right, get the wheels back on. I'll set y'all up on some time lapse and pull this master cylinder out, and then we're gonna need to bench bleed the new one. And once we do that, we'll stick this thing in and bleed everything out. So we've got our 2 master cylinders. I'm about to go bench bleed this one, and then I'll bring y'all back on some time lapse. We'll get this thing installed. There are some differences. So these holes are larger, and this one is not threaded. And I actually went and enlarged these just a little bit more because the spacing is wider than that. So we've enlarged it. It's also thicker. So we need new bolts, and I don't have time to run to the store today, so we're gonna rig it just a little bit. We're gonna go a size smaller on the bolts. Actually, no, we're not going a size smaller. They are the same size. We're doing 1/4 inch, which is, no, they were 5/16. We're going a 1/4 inch. We can maybe change this later on, but that allows us to run it like that. And this thing is just gonna be recessed in that hole like that. I don't know if we're gonna be able to hold it. We will see. Yeah, it's what we got. It's what we can do. So I went and got that, and I thought I had it, which these would have worked except for the spacing. So there's no real good way to do this, you know, since these are recessed or countersunk. It's not like you can just slot the hole, because then your countersunk is off. You could do that, and you could do it like with a flush head bolt, but you won't be able to countersink them, which it's not the end of the world. And hey, look, they did the same thing there. But anyway, I think our best option, you know, I had to go larger size on these to make these work, or to make the 1/4 inch work. And I think that's just gonna be what it is. That should be fine. It is least of our worries compared to the rest of the stuff on this. So I'm gonna take this over, go bench bleed it real quick, and then try to hurry up and get it over here and mounted before the fluid all runs out of it. So I need to find 2 1/4 inch nuts. I've got 2 washers to put like that. Well, technically they'd be on the other side, but yeah, I mean, otherwise, you know, this thing should work. I don't know. For the price, yeah, I'll take it. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I think that'll work. Not ideal, but not bad. So I think we can go ahead and put the floorboard on. I'll do that real quick because we need to make sure the brakes aren't going to drag, you know, like we don't need to adjust the throw on the master cylinder, adjust the rod. It is adjustable. So I want to do that, or put this in so we can tell about that. put this back in too. Okay, so I did, like I said, I bench bled the master cylinder, so it should be pretty decent. The bleeders are all closed. I don't think everything's downhill, so I don't think we can gravity bleed it. And I think our little proportioning valve is, or not proportioning, our T fitting is probably higher than the master cylinder. Or yeah, it's definitely higher than the master cylinder. I don't think that'll cause a problem. We just can't, like I said, we can't gravity bleed. So what I'm going to do real quick, let me get that in. Okay, we got a good pedal. It's not bottoming out. That's good. So now that we've pumped it a few times, I'm going to go around and just check and make sure everything is dry. I think we still probably have air, so I'm just going to go ahead and just crack the bleeders and go ahead and bleed this thing. I don't know if y'all want to watch this or not. I guess y'all can watch me if you want. I'll put it on time lapse, but I'm gonna take a quick little break and get some water. It's hot. It is definitely, summer has hit in Texas. So I'm gonna drink some water real quick, and then actually I'm gonna crack the bleeders. I'll go ahead and do that, and then I'm gonna get some water, and maybe they'll gravity bleed. I don't know. We'll see. Well, I figured I'd show y'all some of the fun I'm having. So, went to open the bleeders. Still been taking a break. Went to open the bleeders and there was pressure. So that told me that the pedal, the floorboard was pushing the pedal down. So, not good. So, we are shortening this rod, and it has been a fight. It was seized, and I got heat on it and got some vice grips on it here, and got it a couple heat cycles, spraying with WD-40 and heating with my torch. I got it freed up, and we are running it in and checking with the floorboard up to see when the pedal is even with the floorboard and it is just starting to press the master cylinder, I think is where we want it to be. This is a cramped area. That's very close. So I think I'm going to slide the floorboard back down. I think we need just a little bit more. I think it's slightly pushing on it. I think that's got it. We may, yeah, that's got it. We may have to adjust this a little bit more once we bolt the floorboard down, but we're gonna leave it right there. Tighten our jam nuts back up. I'm gonna have to let that one cool, that side cool. I am not about to touch that. So that jam nut will wait. I'm gonna go ahead and take my brake and come back when we're ready to bleed the brakes. Brakes working. Yeah, there was some oil or brake fluid. We were doing a burnout on brake fluid where I bled the wheels or the wheel cylinders. All right. Man, it's got good brakes. It'll lock them up. Yeah, 100% locks them up. Lock the other one up. All right, we got good brakes. But I guess that's gonna do it. I need to clean up my mess and we'll put the forklift back up. But we have brakes, we have hydraulics, it runs well. So we've got a operating forklift at this point. We just need to do a few little things to have this thing completely done, at least as far as I'm going to take it. So I'm pretty happy with the results so far though. And brakes, I've got probably $70 into the brakes. Not too bad. Probably about $100. I probably have about $100 into the brakes, or just under $100. So really not that bad for basically a whole new braking system, new master cylinder, new lines. That's including the cost of the NICOP, the T-fitting, you know, all this stuff. One set of brake shoes and 2 new wheel cylinders. All in all, happy with the results. That's gonna do it for this one. Tell me what you think we should do next on this thing. I've got a few things prioritizing in my head, but I'd love to hear what you think should be next. We are not painting it, so you can mark that one off. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment down below, hit the like button, and subscribe for more.